an icon, a leader, somebody to rally around, an identity. He was all of those things for us.
Explodes into a 25. The guy got great speed. 40. Out to midfield with Ricky Williams.
Never, ever let you down.
Pulls his way in. Touchdown. And the records start to fall.
I do remember them talking about this kid in California that we absolutely have to get, and he was the top running back in California. I knew he was a really big deal.
I remember him saying, I'm gonna go take a trip to Texas. And we had never been to Texas. I still remember like it was yesterday, he busted through my sister and I's bedroom, and he had a UT burnt orange starter jacket, University of Texas. And he's like, I think I wanna be a Longhorn. And we're like, what's a Longhorn?
There's a famous quote of Ricky's that is a big part of the reason why he came to Texas. And he said that if you want to surf, you go to Hawaii. If you want to shop, you go to New York. If you want to act, you go to California. If you want to play college football, you go to the University of Texas. He was one of those guys who kind of understood the value of having a legacy and the importance of building something here in Texas. Basically won every award you could possibly win. Comes back for his senior year, wants to win the Heisman, wants to break the NCAA rushing record, all the goals he had. He has his jersey, number 34, retired, having a statue outside the stadium in the North End Zone Hall of Fame, and having the field named after he and Earl Campbell.
11 yards shy of the record. Williams breaks a hole. Williams and a record book. Ricky Williams runs to the Hall of Fame. Cuts back. Ricky Williams, touchdown! 60 yards on the record.
That was a really special play that will always go down in history.
My most memorable game from his Heisman year is the game he had 43 yards at Kansas State. Kansas State's defense was completely set on stopping Ricky, but after the game in the locker room, he understands you got to take the highs with the lows and face the adversity. And the next 2 weeks, he had 318 and 350 yards and 6 touchdowns and 5 touchdowns to get back in the Heisman race.
He saw going to the Saints as an opportunity to really prove himself.
He's a first-round draft pick that they gave up their entire draft for. He was, first team All-Pro, led the NFL in rushing. One stat that a lot of people don't know about, there's only 2 people in the history of football that have run for 10,000 yards in the NFL and 6,000 yards in college, Tony Dorsett and Ricky Williams. So he is one of the greatest football players to ever play.
His tenacity and spirit to overcome the most challenging times is really the most inspiring thing about him and what I truly love, and it's been so encouraging to watch.
The issues with the suspensions, once he had faced them head on and dealt with them and, came back and showed everybody that he's still a great team guy, a guy they can lean on, a guy they can trust.
He just said, Cass, I'm just trying to find myself, and there's so much pressure to achieve, and I'm nervous that my body is going to take too many hits and I won't be able to come back from it. And that's exactly what he was able to do through the social anxiety and just needing to feel like himself and not always be Ricky the football player.
There's a lot of things he wanted to do, and he was a giver who wants to give back to the world and wants to do great things, that he was going to do even better things after his football career.
He needed that break from the NFL to go deeper, to go inside of himself. And then that has really turned into entrepreneurial business ventures with Real Wellness, Leela, as well as Heisman. So he's really found ways to, how can I take my personal interests for health, well-being, and turn that into something that I'm running and I'm owning. He's learning how to code. I was floored, but he said, I want to learn how to do this.
The most surprising thing is how little concern he has for his fame as a thing. He really is committed to causing the next thing over the horizon, not looking over his shoulder or trying to preserve his glory days, because in his mind, the glory days are what's coming up ahead of him, not what's behind him.
Ricky has one of the biggest hearts of anyone I know. He's a family man. He loves hard and loves well. He really was protective and looked out for us, and he does the same for his family. You know, his wonderful kids ranging in age, 2 years old, you know, all the way to 24, boys and girls.
Ricky does have a lot of physical gifts for sure, and he does have a lot of intellectual gifts too, which are very underestimated, but it's his courage on the field of battle, whatever field that looks like, that's the thing that separates him from anybody else.
He was an amazing football player. We can't deny that. We've got the footage and the stats that will live on, but I hope people also remember the man that he is. Through the highs and the lows, he's always thinking of other people, making their lives in this world a better place.